clear power use is it can control time. Freeze time, reverse it, create time loops.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. It's time itself. And then the last one is the Soul Stone.
And that's the one that is missing. So we don't know where it is. A lot of fans speculated it would show up in Black Panther.
And it didn't.
And it didn't. And people were just like, what? Why?
Or it did.
Or did it.
Or did it. And that's where we can actually segue into sort of talking about fan theories around Infinity Wars. And, we'll all have differing opinions on this. But
warning, this is the juicy part, guys.
Yeah. So this is where, everybody and everyone on the internet, especially on Reddit and wherever, is trying to figure out what's going to happen in this film. So a big part of it is the Soul Stone, because that's the one that Thanos needs. Because we know where all the other ones are. Where is the stone? So James Brown has it. There's two theories that I want to kind of toss out there for us to pick apart. One's kind of a really wild one. The other one I think is a little bit more plausible.
All right, lay it on us.
Lay it on for the people out there.
If you haven't watched Black Panther, I'm sorry. These are spoilers, so apologies. Cover your ears.
Or your phone.
Pause your things.
Or watch it.
Definitely watch Black Panther.
Pause it and then watch. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Speaking of which, it just hit 1 billion today.
Oh my god! No kidding.
Go ahead.
So with the Infinity Stones, so the wild theory that I'll put out there first is that people were going around thinking that Tony Stark is the Soul Stone.
What?
Whoa!
So he's the mother box of this
his
whole...
soul, his person, is the Soul Stone. Some people picked it apart, wondering if it was the thing in his chest. Or if it was him himself, maybe his death is what creates the Soul Stone. So that was kind of the theory there, and I think it's just basically because everyone's obsessed with Robert Downey Jr. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
But that was the wild internet theory of Tony Stark.
Well, to kind of follow up with that, there was actually a Tumblr thread where it was Avengers Age of Ultron, where you had the Scarlet Witch just kind of playing with everyone's mind, and a lot of everyone's kind of struggle was personal, whereas Tony Stark's was more centered on the team, right? His kind of thing was these are all my friends, they're all in trouble or dead and stuff, whereas everyone else with Captain America, it was the flashback from the war with Natasha Romanoff, it was the flashback from her training and stuff. So I think that Tony Stark, it really kind of did prove that he was really the central character that kind of cemented everyone together. So
he's gonna start. He's gonna start it and he's gonna finish it.
That theory is pretty plausible from that Tumblr.
For sure, and I think because if it wasn't for Iron Man, if it wasn't for the success of Tony Stark as a character, we wouldn't have the rest of the Avengers, essentially. Because if that movie did terribly, then none of this would have happened. So
metaphorically, he's already the soul of...
Essentially.
Oh, man. It's coming true. It's coming true.
I feel like it's those theories so far are missing the point of what the Soul Stone was, because originally it's the rock inside Adam Warlock's forehead, and it absorbs people's souls into it, and it's a very terrible thing. I don't see any of that in Tony so far.
Not sucking anybody in, right?
Well, he sucks everyone into his ego.
Shots fired!
Okay, I can kind of see that, I guess.
Unless the theory is saying that he will eventually condense into a mineral that fits
I
into the gauntlet.
I think the theory is around sacrifice, the idea that maybe his death is the cause or creation or that stone. There's a lot of other people that have different angles to this, but for me, this is the wild theory that fans just tossed out on Twitter, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Jumping on it,
pretty much. Sounds like it.
Second theory.
But the second, more plausible and deeper theory, and this actually relates directly to Black Panther, because we saw it twice in the film where, or actually 3 times, where T'Challa gets to go to T'Challa and Killmonger the one time, they go to the ancestral plane, and they get to meet the spirits of their father. And there was a cool theory circulating around that it's possible that this ancestral plane is actually the soul world, or the place where the Soul Stone actually sucks people into, or a pocket of that void or something, because essentially the Soul Stone contains in itself its own reality. So I thought that was a really cool theory, kind of a subtler way of introducing the stone, is that you're seeing the place that maybe it originated from before in a very different context.
Yeah, I'm more a fan of that theory.
But I've definitely heard something similar to that, because that's essentially what gives the heart-shaped herb the power to do what it does.
Yes.
Because I don't know if it's a byproduct of the meteor crashing into Wakanda where the vibranium is, like, I have heard that maybe the stone is in the middle of that meteor, and it's what powers everything, and so they'll have residual energy even if the stone is removed, but that's the gateway. Like the Black Panther is essentially an avatar of the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
We both saw in the trailer.
No pressure or anything, T'Challa. No
Yeah,
pressure at all.
exactly, no
But
pressure.
jeez.
And we saw in the Infinity War trailer that they're in Wakanda.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they have said, and I believe it was Kevin Feige, did say that the final battle is taking place in Wakanda.
Yeah.
This is where the big set piece is going to be. So it is going to be interesting to kind of see how that all ties in together when the film actually comes out, and how they are going to introduce the Infinity Stone. Judging from the screenshots of the film, I believe Thanos already has 2 of the stones, the Power Stone and
The Space Stone.
the Space Stone at that point. So he's already pretty powerful because he's got.
And we saw him attacking Vision's stone as well, or at least Loki's staff was taking Vision's stone off of his the mind.
But was it Loki's staff?
But we don't know. Like that's
Well,
where it
there's
could be.
something on
It's
his forehead.
somewhat
Oh, no.
alien.
Well,
Yeah.
It looked like Loki's staff.
Well,
but
if you are, I guess, aware of like Corvus Glaive and what's her name, Pax. They've all got Pax. Yeah, Midnight. They've got some crazy names, like all of Thanos' sidekicks. You're gonna learn them all in the movie because they are absolutely insane. But
Can you list some of them out?
Oh my lord!
It's
wish
going to be
I
like
could.
saying
This
my
is
last
like-
name, but
like
like
Proxima Midnight
Yeah.
and like
sound like
yeah,
Galaxial stripper names.
They're like called the Black Order, right? I
Right,
believe?
right.
They're in the back
So,
of those,
so the
uh,
Black
pop
Order is
movies.
definitely
Yeah,
in the film.
Oh, yeah, Jeff's got some right there.
Yeah, right. Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw,
Right.
and Corvus Glaive.
Yeah,
Ebony
and-
Maw probably
Ebony
lives
Maw
in
looks
like
like
Markham
an
anyway.
anorexic,
Like
how could I say Marilyn Manson? That's what Ebony Maw kind of looks like.
Tedious.
It reminds
if-
me
if
of,
you have pale skin, but yeah.
like Contagion. You remember Contagion from Wolverine? Basically like that.
Yeah. It's, but one of his stabs could to me, it looked more like that stab
Like
as
a
opposed to
Corvus
Loki's.
Glaive style.
Yeah,
Right,
Corvus
yeah.
Glaive
I
stab,
would
but
prefer
it could be.
And he's the most favored general of Thanos, so he's probably going to take on a pretty major role in the film
All right.
as a secondary bad guy or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And another thing about Marvel movies is the merchandise comes out and it's like word vomit. It's. I mean, the movie already is so big. Like, just name people that are going to be in it. Guardians are going to be in it.
We got Thor, we got the Avengers.
All the Avengers.
All the
Avengers.
People in Wakanda, because they've already announced that
Yeah.
they'll be making appearances.
There's basically no one that's going to be left
Basically
out.
everyone, and that means because it's a 3-hour runtime, it's actually just under 3 hours, 2 hours and 56 minutes, 36 minutes,
Love it.
something around there. That means like everyone's gonna get maybe like 3 minutes of screen time each.
I'm
I don't
You know
know.
what?
Tony Stark will have more.
Be prepared that some people will die. Like
Well, the whole thing with having a big ensemble cast like that is that's why they did the solo movies and
Right.
the individual team movies. So you
So
know
you can't be bummed out
what
totally.
these people are
Yeah.
all about
Mhm.
going into the film. So you don't need that 5-10 minutes of exposition
That's
to
right.
explain their motivations and all that. You can just be like, all right, you know what they're about. They got to go punch this guy in the face.
The predictions for you guys, though, speaking of death, who do you guys think is going to die?
so one of my favorite theories is that because there's a brief scene in the trailer where we see kind of Iron Man or the suit of Iron Man taking on Thanos,
Mm-hmm.
and I stumbled across a great theory, just a random Redditor that had this theory, and I really resonated with it. Was that it's actually what's her face, Pepper
Pepper.
Potts. Just
Okay.
wearing the suit because Tony's not around, so she takes the
So
suit
just-
to go and
Yeah. Mm.
do something, and she ends up dying, and that like triggers Tony.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the idea of like
That's actually a great idea.
I
Yeah.
love the idea because it's like I think at that point Thanos punches Iron Man in the
Yeah.
face, and you
Good
see him
claws.
under the fist,
Jesus.
and that's Pepper in there. And like I
Mhm.
love the idea of like Tony losing the person that he loves the most in the world, and then kind of just going batshit.
That's actually
Yeah.
an amazing idea.
Yeah.
That sounds like refrigerating her, though.
You know what? It does a little bit, but I think the whole thing is just kind of how do we unlock like Tony Stark as being in his most extreme form, and we
Mhm.
haven't seen that yet. And like he tends,
Yeah.
he is powerful, but like compared to some of the other characters, he doesn't have like a raw power.
Mhm.
And it kind of calls back to, for me, one of the most iconic moments in the Justice League animated series was at the very end when you see Superman just unleash all of his rage onto Darkseid.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's just
Yeah, he
like,
went ham.
I love
Yeah.
he's like, I don't need to hold back anymore. Like, I'm just
Mhm.
going to take you out. And I kind of like the idea of seeing Tony go through that extreme and then possibly die. Like, I'm okay with him dying. But that's what I kind of want to see. And also because I just don't like Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts. And I'm like, you can go now.
If you guys could cast,
You can go now.
recast, I suppose, Pepper Potts, who would it be?
Ooh, I don't know. I would probably go with, like, maybe some... Like, I really like Colby Smulders as
the agent.
Maria Hill.
Yeah.
But I can see someone like her kind of being a
Mhm.
better Pepper just because, like, Gwyneth... I'm sorry, all of the stuff that you do outside of your acting career with all this, like, health food nuttiness, like, we don't need that.
I don't know why, but I always looked at Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Down,
But
yeah.
she's already with.
Or, like,
she's
Cameron
already
Diaz, I feel like could have been
Right.
a good Pepper Potts. Like,
Cameron Diaz would have been. I don't know, because she does play, I guess, the teacher authority role fairly well, like
Yeah.
bad teacher or whatnot.
Bad teacher, yeah.
But I don't know. You need someone who's funny and sassy. So
Yeah.
Because she
But
played a similar character
Cameron
in
Diaz
Charlie's
did a lot
Angels
of
too,
comedies.
So like
Yeah.
Yeah, she did great in that one.
Definitely
She-
could have
she's,
worked.
I'm blanking on the name, but she did do a dramatic film with Michael Fassbender, and there was another actor, but she was a lawyer in that, and she was phenomenal, and not something you'd see Cameron Diaz in all the time, so I don't know, I could see her being a good Pepper if they were to recast.
Okay.
Makes sense to
Yeah,
me.
Makes sense, yeah.
I'm down for Pepper dying, guys.
Anybody who wants to ship that right now is just hashtag
Yeah. No, it
Death
is.
of Pepper.
Death of Pepper. Yeah.
I think
Pepper
Captain
must die.
America.
Captain America for you?
I think so because it's just they're spending a lot of time.
Yeah, but hold on. If he dies, they're just gonna like put him back in the ice and then defrost him again 5 years later.
You know what? I'm with Cyrille only because Chris Evans has not signed on his contracts for
Really?
renewal.
And they're
But
spending a lot of time, getting Bucky to kind of just really kind of step up to it.
Mhm.
So I think that Chris Evans is kind of just really passing the torch because it's like, why would you center Bucky like so much in like, especially with spoilers, but like the post-credit scene,
Right, in Black Panther, right.
and just the whole storyline and the rapport that they have in Civil War and stuff. Like, I think he's really ready to just kind of say goodbye to the character and then just have Marvel just introduce Bucky as kind of. Well,
Mhm.
they already confirmed that he's going to play the White Wolf, right? So,
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Well, it's funny because White Wolf in the actual storyline is Black Panther's half brother, or should I say step brother?
Yeah.
Because it's like T'Chaka ends up adopting
Baby Panther.
a white baby,
Oh.
and he's raised as T'Challa's brother.
it's reverse Madonna.
So right, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's a bait and switch with the whole Chris Evans contract situation. Like,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be talking about it so publicly
Mm-hmm.
if there was something more to it.
True, but I also think Chris Evans, like, he's dabbled in directing, like, he's doing
Yeah.
other stuff. I could
I mean-
see him being the kind of actor that might get tired of it, like, not wanting to be Cap forever, but...
He has time to do
I think he
side
wants to end it on
projects.
I think he wants to end it on a high note, and I think for him, this movie would be his high note. And I think that him saying goodbye to it, like, I am confident that he wouldn't say goodbye unless they did it justice. So.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this
well,
is like the biggest thing ever that's happening right
right.
now.
And
So
I do know they have done casting for a big funeral scene for the next one because I've seen the notes saying they're looking for people who can look sullen and
Really?
sad. No, it's they're in the
That's
liner
hilarious.
notes that they didn't say whose funeral it was. It just said it was the death of an Avenger.
have you seen any of my selfies from the past? That's exactly my look. I go for that look all the time. I used to listen to a lot of 30 Seconds to Mars.
We're all
I
black,
got
I
it.
can mourn.
Yeah,
Pretty
man.
sure,
Let us know who these people are. And you just see all Comics Inc. like lined up, like the death of. I'm gonna say it
Well,
again. Anyway,
I'm still saying it's gonna be Hawkeye.
I'm
Hawkeye.
And I honestly thought they were going to do it in Age of Ultron because of the whole arc that character had.
Yeah.
with the family.
Oh, yeah. I thought so too.
I thought
But is that a big enough death, though?
who knows? It's just as an event. But do you need a massive death to if
I mean,
you enjoy
yeah,
the movie?
I feel like
No.
with the
Yeah,
episode,
because I mean,
right?
they did
Look
when
at
they
the time.
did kill off Phil Coulson,
No.
right?
Yeah.
When
Right,
they
'cause-
killed off Phil Coulson in the
Yeah.
first
Or
Avengers.
killed.
It was kind of their way of just getting everyone together because it's like this is the everyman that we're fighting for,
Mhm.
kind of thing. So I think you don't really need a major death.
Which is why I like the Pepper idea because it's
Yeah.
big enough and you can
Mhm.
understand why they'd be upset about it.
Mhm.
But it didn't have to be anybody who's, I guess, for lack of a better term, flagship. So
Understood.
True.
Understood, sir.
True.
and even though they are moving on to the fourth phase, like